I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Ange Aimee. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ange Aimee. I'm the beloved angel of music, aka a hospital angel, here to heal you. And I hope you guys are having a great day.
Well, we're having a great day now that we get a chance to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on. I do
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Yeah, so you're up with Urium, and is this your first streaming platform, or have you been streaming on other platforms?
To be completely honest, used to stream a bit on TikTok on my IRL cosplay account,
Hmm.
and I did not have the best experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, that can that can definitely be traumatizing. It did. So, what brought you from there to what you're doing now?
Um, well, to be honest, a lot of the comments I would get would be harassing me based on physical characteristics for mostly my race and the fact that I'm a girl. So it did bother me a lot that a lot of the comments were just about my appearance, whether they were positive or negative. So I was excited to start as a VTuber and be able to just express my personality without everything being solely about my appearance, for better or for worse.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's one of the things that VTubing really does is allows you to um, present yourself the way you want to be presented. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you you set the storyline or the backstory, I should say, and no one's going to remember you. Everybody who sees you now isn't going to remember what you did in third grade, that type of thing. It's just
Yeah.
you present yourself how you want to be presented. And is Ange Aimee your final form?
Final form as in what do you mean by that?
That by as far as the folks are seeing your model right now, is this the model that you're wanting to do, or do you have some plans for it?
I do have some plans in the works for a 2.0 design. It'll still be Ange, of course, but yeah, she'll have some different design aspects.
Cool. Now, tell me a bit about the cosplaying you did. Was that something you started early on, or was it something you picked up a little bit later in life?
Well, to be honest, my first cosplay was my original Oshi, which is Kaito the Vocaloid. So
Mhm.
it was in middle school. I was like 12 years old, and I showed up to him in cosplay at school. So I've just been cosplaying for a long time and really fell in love with it. And I still do love to cosplay.
Yeah. Now doing this at 12 years old, I mean, there are people who are doing it at a much older age that have trouble putting all this stuff together. How long did it take for you to get this cosplay down?
To be honest, I feel like I still don't really have it down, but I think knowing the angles that makes me feel cute and then a certain makeup style and cutting the wigs in a way that makes me look snatched is definitely for the key.
It's an entire industry on itself, isn't it? I mean, it really you have to know exactly how to do a wig a certain way and how to make certain you know wands and sticks and items. You really have to work on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's very I think it's very underrated the way people
hmm
work on that. What was your favorite cosplay so far?
Oh, so lately, uh, I'm trying to think. I did post on my VTuber Twitter my Shy Lily cosplay, and I think I just really like how that one turned out because she liked the post.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if you get the post from her, you definitely hit the right mark. The for you in VTubing, was it something that you had already started watching before you decided to give it a try?
Oh, yes. So I'm actually a pretty new VTubing fan, but to be honest, my friend Renata Norcross got me into VTubing more because I initially was drawn to the music aspect of it because I my main thing not even being a cosplayer, it's being a singer.
Mm.
So I really fell in love with Nimune, um, the demon girl VTuber,
Oh yes.
and her music. So that I started getting so obsessed with Nimune that I wanted to like make my own persona, and then with the help of Renata, like we created a persona, and from there it all started.
It's your felt, Renata.
I love Renata.
Yeah, Renata's great. I tease it, of course. But so you have you done any covers yet?
I have.
Mm.
So, let's let's see. How do I explain this? I am currently working with my friend who is like basically a student of mixing
Mm-hmm.
and musical tech.
Mm-hmm.
So we've created a few covers together that I have not yet released because I made covers on my like YouTube channel very informally because I don't really know how to mix. Like my main thing is singing, not like mixing or making instrumentals. So
Right.
I made a few informal covers, but we together with my friend we've created like more professional, like custom instrumental, well
Mm.
mixed covers that I haven't released yet.
Mm. So stay tuned.
Yes.
So I got to ask you with this and with these more mixed covers that you're going to be releasing soon. When you hear yourself back on these recordings,
Mhm.
um, what are you thinking when you hear yourself?
To be honest, I used to have a lot of insecurity with my voice, but at this point, even on Iriam, I do a lot of karaoke streams, so I try to not focus on how my voice sounds and more of like the objective aspects of it. Like, okay, was I pitchy there? Was I too loud, too quiet there? You know, more on the technical aspects because I have recorded myself so many times over the years being a singer that my own voice doesn't even faze me anymore.
That's one way to get around that.
Yeah.
Just flood yourself with it. That's one of the things in radio. We always everybody always hated hearing their own voice in radio. Um,
Oh, really?
oh yeah, because it never sounds in radio. It never sounded the same as it did in your head.
Yeah.
And when you hear it back on a tape, and it was cassette tapes back then. I'm an old man. Just bear with me. Uh, and we'd hear it back, and we're like, oh my gosh, why is anybody listening to that sort of thing? But evidently something worked because I was there for a while. Um,
Yeah.
so with you and singing, was that something you started early?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, from like the age of like 3 or 4, I always knew I wanted to be a singer. And I'm even like most of my streams involve some sort of singing aspect. Even if it's like a get ready with me stream, I still start singing. Like you can ask my friends, that's like my main talent, my main hobby, my main thing. And yes, it did start from a young age. I have always loved singing.
Mm. So what types of songs do you like to sing?
So actually, I used to go to a performing arts school.
Mm.
So I learned how to sing mostly musical theater or like classical songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I had private lessons for about a year and a half. And then once COVID hit, I couldn't take those lessons anymore. So
Uh,
after that, I was pretty much self-taught. And even though I had training in like classical and musical theater techniques, I ended up singing a lot in other languages, like specifically J-pop and K-pop
mm.
kind of sort of thing, like Japanese and Korean and mostly pop songs. But I do love to sing a good like Has Been Hotel musical theater type of song.
Yeah, that certainly has caught a lot of interest in the young folk recently. That type of musical theater. Now, do you know those languages, or did you have to learn them, piece by piece?
So, Japanese I was exposed to at a young age because, again, Renata Norcross got me into Vocaloid from the age of like 6. And so I am not fluent in Japanese or Korean, but I've just listened to so many songs in both languages that I'm able to sing in them, and also French and Spanish but French and Spanish I did study in school a bit.
Oh my gosh! Well, you got me beat. I have barely English, and a little bit of Sesame Street Spanish, and that's about it.
Oh, that's terrific, though.
I can almost count to 20, and I can show you where the doors are. That's about it.
Wow. No, that's great.
Yeah, but I could
You
do
got to
that.
start from somewhere.
But I could do that 50 years ago too. I haven't gotten any better.
Whoa.
It's stayed at a plateau at this particular point. Um,
For sure.
but really, knowing all of that and hearing a song, uh, what what catches you first in the song? Is it the music? Is it the words? Is it the vocal sound? Or is there anything that in particular?
So that's a very difficult question for me because as someone who doesn't really speak any other languages but still loves songs in every language, I can say I think it depends on the genre, to be honest. Um, with like emo songs, like I love My Chemical Romance. I
Mm-hmm.
really like the whole aura and like the lyrics being very like deep and meaningful and having like a story behind them. But for like K-pop and J-pop, I think I just like the cute girls and their cute voices, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, there's sometimes you just got to go with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, especially with getting knowing at a very young age, Vocaloids as well as the Vocaloids getting into early. How did you follow them? They don't breathe. So
Mhm.
were you trying to cover the Vocaloid songs at a young age?
I have.
Oh,
I love singing Vocaloid songs. I know that they don't sound human to other people, but like considering how lonely I was as a kid, I considered them to be like sort of my friends, you know?
mm,
So I can understand Vocaloid Japanese and Vocaloid English better than human English sometimes and human Japanese.
oh, I can bet it. When I first saw Miku, and there was on a couple of YouTube videos, and they had her going off on some extremely fast bit at the end of a song, and I'm like, I don't. Even if I understood Japanese, I wouldn't understand this.
Yes, well, there's a song called Matryoshka by Kenshi Yonezu/Hachi, and it's really fast and high pitched, but I can sing it.
Oh,
All the practice.
well, what's your range as far as vocals go?
I haven't tested my range since I was honestly in high school,
Mm-hmm.
so years ago now. But I am generally considered a soprano.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, probably like in musical theater terms, especially like yeah, definitely a soprano for sure.
Well, I don't imagine you'll be doing down in tenor anytime soon.
Yes, I have quite. I can reach a lot of high notes, but the low notes are very, very tricky for me.
Yeah. Well, when we were in high school, all the guys wanted to be tenors, but there was that, we had to wait until a certain time of life.
Yeah.
13, no, not gonna happen yet. You sing in the front. That the having that type of background and having that type of vocal training, do you think that's helped you as you've come on as a VTuber and starting off with Irium?
Oh, for sure. I think music and singing is literally like the love of my life. So I I will be honest with you, I haven't told this to a lot of people, but partially my saying and my character is inspired by The Phantom of the Opera, which is like my favorite musical. The
Ah,
Angel of Music thing, which is what
yes,
I am.
yes.
Hospital Angel of Music. It's like inspired. It's literally a song and it's what Christine, the main character, calls the Phantom, the Angel of Music. So I was
Ah,
really inspired by that, and you know, having the training to sing live in front of people was perfect for VTubing because I felt less nervous about singing in front of an audience.
yeah, and even if you don't see them, yeah,
Yes, for sure.
they're there. I was, I could go on the radio with a lot of people listening and not worry about it, but never really liked getting in front of people that I could see. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, and yeah, I could talk to four-figure people on the radio, but you get 10 people in a room, and I'm like, no, get away. I'm better at it now, of course, more than anything else. But for you, there was never any problem getting out in front of people, and but because you started at such a young age that I bet you were just chomping at the bit to show people.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, not, huh?
I didn't start actually doing theater until like middle school,
Yeah.
and even though I had some roles, like I played Jasmine in Aladdin before,
Oh,
and that
well,
was like my biggest role, especially.
that's a fairly big
Um,
role, yes.
yes, I always have stage fright. So
Mm.
I think VTubing helps me because I don't have to actually like I'm in the comfort of my own home. I think part of being on stage and like having to be alone and like with a bunch of people and memorize all these lines is what really like memorizing the lines really stresses me out. So I love VTubing because I can just like sit in my favorite position wearing like pajamas, and then just like sing and like vibe without and having the lyrics in front of me. It's like a lot more chill, a lot less high stakes
Yeah, that's
for
true.
me.
I didn't even think about that. You can have all the words there and not mess them up. That helps out.
Right? That's what I like.
That helps. No wonder those radio guys could had their own singers in the studios back in the 30s. They
Mhm.
had the lyrics right in front of them. They weren't going to mess it up. Um,
Right?
so when you're on Irium and you've got the people interacting with you, um, a lot of times I watch and get in, and people are basically having to keep up several conversations at once with different
Mhm.
people. Does that is that easy for you to do, or is that something you've had to learn?
I think it's easy for me to do because I am very much a people person, to
Hmm.
be honest with you. And I also worked at a preschool, so I learned how to talk to a bunch of different kids at the same time and like read audiences and like get individuals, like combing the crowd, and also being like someone who likes to talk a lot and chat with people as like one of my favorite things to do. I think it's easy for me to just yap, with a bunch of different people, different conversations
So what I'm
at
getting
once. I think it's really fun.
so what I'm getting is that you think that VTuber audiences are much like preschoolers.
Sometimes I know I believe so. I think it's cute, like very charming how all of them they're like they're all trying to talk to me, get my attention and yap with me. I think it's very cute and childlike. So I could say that, yeah.
So with working with preschool, do you get to do any singing there?
Rarely because there was not a lot of time to sing to the kids.
Uh,
Sometimes I would if they really wanted me to sing them a song,
yeah. I would think that
but most of the
that'd be
time it
time to
was
get them involved
instructional.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you have to keep with with what the schedule is, I guess, with it, I suppose. Um,
Mhm.
but I would think that would be a perfect opportunity to get kids involved in it early. I remember music classes from back in oh, third grade, which is long, long time ago. We just hit two rocks together and we called it music.
Right? And I did wanna be a music teacher for some time because I'm still in college now, but
Yeah.
I decided against it ultimately.
Mm. So have you thought about doing any voice acting?
I would love to do voice acting because, like, having that theater background, and, like, the love of characters and, like, love of singing especially, I would it was also my dream to be a voice actor as
Well,
a kid.
I would think that would be with that background and with your interest in this stuff. Especially people who'll be doing animation for games and stuff would want you to come in.
Of course, I would love that,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, you'd be if I think we're going to see actual, not just voice acting, but singing along in the games too.
I would love that. That would be my dream would to be to appear in a game and voice act and sing.
Yeah,
Tee.
yeah, I think that we'll be seeing more of that too.
Mhm.
Eventually, well, especially with the fact that you can do this from home now. You,
Yeah,
you don't have to be in Tokyo or Los Angeles or New York to do this. If you've got a nice setup at home, you can just do it from there.
for sure.
Is that was that um, something that you worried about as a singer and performer and learning these things was the travel involved with it? Since you said you were kind of at home a lot, but did you get a chance to travel at all and sing?
Oh, yeah. Well, not really traveling and sing, but, I have traveled quite a bit, so,
Yeah.
you know.
It's it's doing the little tour thing is interesting. Would you like to try one of those?
A tour?
Yeah.
Of course, because um, well, to be honest with you, I'm working on some original music with that same producer friend. So if we ever got the opportunity to tour, I would definitely take that instantly.
Ah, you're working on original music, huh?
hmm
Yeah. What's the toughest part?
Ooh, I think the toughest part is waiting because once I'm done with my part, I do the melody and like the lyrics. I
Mm-hmm.
send it to my friend, and he has to do all the technical mixing and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and fixing up the instrumentals and whatnot. So the toughest part for me is honestly just waiting for it to be finished because my friend is very busy, understandably.
Yeah.
So I'm just like so anxious.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm excited.
The mixers and the dial spinners, as a radio person, my hat is always off to them because they're the ones that make us sound better than we actually are.
Right? Yes.
And they've worked and got the technical background. And there are some folks that we wouldn't even know that were mixers and mixologists until the VTuber thing started up. So
Mm-hmm.
we got a chance to interview a lot of really good dial spinners out there. So I'm
That's
glad.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you've been able to find someone to help you out. But I want to get back to this actual songwriting because um, there's an old saying that everybody's got a song in them. Well, that's not really true. um, how do you come up with the lyrics for a song? And you're writing them in English, right?
Yes.
Okay. But how do you come up with the lyrics? Do you do a poem first and go that way, or do you try to match the lyrics to whatever music is in your head?
So, my producer friend, he sends me the instrumentals and
Mm,
then he says, do whatever you want. I give you full creative freedom. Sometimes he wants like a general theme,
mm,
but most of the time it's just, I'm giving you this, do whatever you want. And I honestly have based each song just based on how I feel from the
mm,
music. And then I start writing the melody and then I start adding the lyrics on top and then, it all comes together and to
mm,
make a story.
cool. So each song is a story.
Yes.
Mm,
Well, it tells the story at least.
mm. Okay, so that's how you're kind of approaching it. So you get the music, and then the lyrics. How long does it take for you to get those lyrics?
Some songs it's really fast. Takes a couple of hours even, and then
Mm,
other songs it could take me weeks
mm.
to pull it all together. One of my songs that I've written for the EP that's releasing soon, I had written about like 5 times.
What was the problem with it?
The lyrics sounded really cringe, and I was just like, you know what, this sounds cringe. I need to make it sound deeper without it like compromising the you know
The meaning of it, yeah.
meaning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you don't want to do a lot of Moon June lyrics at this point.
Yeah, I was like, I love I love MCR for example, like as I mentioned, and I wanted my lyrics to be like beautiful like theirs and not
Yeah.
just like not sounding like it's written like super childishly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's some folks that got away with that because they sounded good,
Yeah.
and they had the music playing. Like I know from my generation, Phil Collins, Genesis. Um, some of their if folks listen to their music, they're like, "Oh, it sounds really cool," which I agree, but the lyrics are just terrible.
Oh, really?
I mean, he made up words for some of those songs because he couldn't figure out things to put in. One of his
Oh, no.
one of their big hits was called Abacab, which isn't a word.
Wow. I
Yeah,
mean, as long as the music sounds good, a lot of people won't mind the lyrics, like you said. So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
It's true. You have to be really good music though. But you're
for sure.
when you put these together and you come up with the words for it, is it is it coming from personal experience? Is it coming from something that you've seen, you've read, you've watched? Where does the inspiration come from?
So, for most of the songs, it's like my personal like lived experiences and feelings.
Hmm.
But for one of the songs, I did write it. for my friend about his relationship. So I thought it was really sweet.
Oh, that's cool. Was that tougher?
Um, it wasn't tough for me because like knowing about how my friend talked about his relationship had inspired me.
Mm.
So it came pretty naturally, and it felt very sweet to have an homage to him.
Yeah. What did they think of it when you got done?
Oh, he loved it. He thought it was so sweet and thoughtful. So it was overall very happy.
Listen to that smile when talking about it. I could hear you smile when you talk about that. It to have something to have that type of a talent and have the singing talent and to have that appreciated by other people. What does that do for you?
It gives me like insane amounts of dopamine because singing, like I said, is truly the thing I live for. So when I do a karaoke stream and everyone, compliments me or says, "Oh, I love how your voice sounds," or "Oh, you did such a great job," it makes me so happy. Like even on a small scale, Iriam helps me follow my dream of singing, like just through these karaoke streams.
Oh yeah, yeah, and not only that, but it keeps you. I say in practice is probably the wrong way to do it, but you have these are performances you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you're not standing on a stage in front of 1,000 people, but you are sitting in front of a bunch of people and
Hmm.
and broadcasting out the potential audience is basically a couple of countries worth. So there could be a lot out there. Are you going to say start putting things up on other platforms like YouTube eventually?
Uh, yes, eventually, I think once we're ready to release the EP, we'll probably make a separate like channel for it, and then I have ideas of maybe making music videos for them,
Mm-hmm.
but I've tried so many times and it's just kind of a bust. So at the very least, the music will be ready.
Was it just tough doing the art for it or something?
So I have one piece of art that I really like that is gonna probably be the EP cover.
Mm-hmm.
But the hard part of the video is I do not know how to like edit or mix or master or like you know add lyrics to make it look pretty or like very interesting visually. So
Mm.
that's my main struggle with the video making.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot more complicated than when I was learning it back in the '80s, video stuff. But again, back then we were actually to edit back in the '80s, we actually had to use razors and tape to edit the videotape, um, which I wasn't very good at. So I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. But at least you, for a lot of these, you have a you know redo button or undo
Yeah.
button that you could hit for some of them. Is it? Would you want to try and learn, say, some animation techniques for that in the future?
Oh yes, for sure. I love learning about stuff like that, so I would like to learn about it for
Yeah,
sure.
but there's a lot of people too that you're going to meet while being a VTuber that do animation and all sorts of artwork. So maybe you can hook up with one of those folks.
For sure, yeah. Like the people who make the what's it called? Like the videos.
Hmm. Yeah, all those folks are there's a lot of people who I think you technically say amateur, but they're really good at it. um, the jobs may not be out there right now for a lot of animators, but that doesn't mean they stopped animating and they keep innovating and creating new things. Um, what is one thing that you found out about streaming that is a surprise to you that caught you off guard?
I think one thing that is definitely a surprise to me with streaming is that I did not realize people would get attached to me.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. That does happen. Yes. So
Yeah, it's like
it's like what?
I consider all my viewers to honestly be like my friends.
Mm.
So, if they're sad, if they miss a stream or something, I get surprised. I'm like, I didn't realize that I impacted you so much. Like, I'm honored.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's people are now taking you into their daily lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're becoming you're their I won't say guiding light because that's a little too over the top, but you are a big part of their entertainment and comfort. Now that you're doing it regularly streaming, uh, that didn't cross your mind at all when you started.
I did. I have a weird thing where I'm like, okay, people don't care about me too much. Like, this should be fine. But so I was really surprised, pleasantly, when I had people like wondering where I was if I didn't stream for a couple of days or all that.
Is it? You're so popular.
No, not. I don't think I'm so popular. I just think like the people who watch me are very, very nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it. With your vocal background, your voice is very easy to hear when you're just talking like we've been talking, and very um, enunciated. You can hear what you're saying, what you're trying to say, um, and it sounds like you're not putting out. You're projecting, but you're not putting out a lot of effort. Um, that's tough to do. That's tough to do. Have you been able? What's the longest you've been able to say sing at one setting?
Um, I honestly I think I sang like 2 or 3 hours one
Mm,
time in one EM stream.
oh my gosh! And
I have a lot of stamina for singing. I don't know why.
yeah,
Maybe it was the theater, but it's probably because I do it all the time every day. To be honest with you,
yeah,
I never get sick of singing.
yeah. Do you do extra care on your vocal cords?
Well, I just generally avoid like smoking
Hmm.
and things that might negatively impact it. And I try to breathe properly to avoid damage.
Hmm.
And I stick to what I know in terms of like being safe with my vocal. I don't scream or anything like that very often. And
Hmm.
I do take vocal care.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's important if you're going to be, and especially not just if you're just talking, but you're doing the singing as well. You need all of that frequency response
For
in
sure.
those vocal cords, and you need to take a little extra care in putting them together because even the most experienced singers can kind of overdo it and wreck themselves a little bit, and then it's like an athlete with a pulled muscle. You're
Hmm.
out trying to rehabilitate to be able to get back to it, and there's some scary things around it. Have you ever had a situation where you were supposed to sing but you couldn't because you had a throat cold?
Um, to be honest, I don't really get sick that often. So luckily, that hasn't really happened to me. Maybe I got sick like once a little bit during streaming, but I still ended up singing. I'm not gonna lie.
I had one time when I was younger, and I worked Christmas at the radio station, and Christmas was a very easy shift, especially the first shift in the morning from midnight to 8. We just listened to Christmas music, and that's
Mhm.
about it. But at about 4:30 in the morning, I had to do a live weather forecast, and I had the sorest throat ever, and it was painful to breathe at that point on Christmas Day of all things. So when everybody who is waking up very, very early for Christmas turned on the radio, they heard Satan's voice.
Wow,
Here's the weather forecast. Merry Christmas.
that's so scary.
It was worse than that. And it was so painful. And I'm like,
No,
oh, I hope my bosses didn't hear that.
all parties were harmed.
Yes, everybody took damage. And by the time I gotten to my family in the morning, because they waited up for me, thankfully, my voice was gone completely.
No.
I was like, okay, well, the last thing I did was a weather forecast in the devil's voice on Christmas. That'll get me some karma. In a long
For
time.
sure.
So, um, Would you like to do any type of game streams?
Oh yeah, I love League of Legends. That's like my favorite game. And
Mm.
I would also want to stream Twilight or not Twilight, Tears of the Kingdom because I want to force myself to play it
Why do you want to force yourself to play it?
because I love Breath of the Wild, but I haven't made time for Tears of the Kingdom yet.
Well, I can see that. I can see that. You said Twilight, and I had a flashback to the movies. Like, no,
No, I meant like Twilight Princess.
no, I lived through that. Thank you very much. And all the women in my immediate family were deep into that series. Like, oh,
Oh,
please
for sure.
keep it away from me. It didn't work. It didn't work. So, with all these things still ahead of you, and obviously you've got the gumption and the want to do this. Where do you see yourself here in about a year?
I think I'm hoping by then to have at least like released the EP and then maybe like a music video and then for hopefully in a year I should have gained my IP also
Hmm.
and know s- bring Ange to bigger and better things.
Yeah, yeah. It's. Have you been able to do a lot of work with other VTubers yet?
Oh, that I'm very shy, so of course I work with my friend Renata Norcross, but I am very shy in regards to trying to talk to other VTubers. But we're looking to do collabs soon, me and Renata.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, that would be a lot of fun. You got to let me know about that because I want to see how that goes. It's you're
Yeah.
in a you're in a you're kind of dipping your toes into the water here with it. And is it everything you wanted it to be? VTubing
Of course, and more. It's like my character, my VTuber Ange, she like heals me, you know what I mean?
heals you. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Explain that a little bit if you could.
I feel like since she's like a healing angel, she's also healing me.
Mm.
Um, and I feel like she's brought me so much happiness and like letting me follow my dreams of singing, even on a small scale. So I'm very thankful for her and, who she makes me be.
Huh. That's interesting. I don't think I've heard it described that way before, but um, it's very and it all still comes down to entertaining people and enjoying yourself, and it sounds like those two things are primary in what you want to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like you should have been VTubing when you were 3.
I'm sorry?
So you should have been VTubing when you were 3 years old, just starting to sing.
Oh yeah, they would have been able to see my progress
You'd be a super veteran by now.
for sure.
But it does sound like it's right in your wheelhouse. It sounds like it was set there to be comfortable for you. Um,
Mm.
so when you do move on and do some other things like the pre-recorded bits, and do you think you'll be just as comfortable as you are now with the Irium setup?
I think so. I think ERM is a great place for me to get myself out there and like, have like a name and a community. So I'm very thankful to ERM for that opportunity. And yeah, I hope to just continue to grow with the app.
Yeah, yeah. It's an amazing thing. This medium, you get a chance to kind of show off to folks around the world, but still maintain a comfort level. Um, do you feel that having the avatar gives you that little extra chance to be more yourself than you would normally be with people you don't know?
Yeah. So I think it does make me feel more comfortable and what's it called? And I don't really feel too scared around the people I don't know aspect because anyone can join in, like literally anyone.
Hmm.
But I think it's more like other streamers I'm worried about. I don't know why. I'm just worried I'll make a bad impression.
I don't. In talking with you for this long, I don't think how. I can't imagine you making a bad impression. I just don't. I just don't hear it coming out of your voice, making a bad impression of
Thank
anybody.
you so much. I appreciate that.
That was really. I mean, you've obviously got a really good personality for it. Um,
Thank you so much.
and that's gonna and that with your voice and your spirit and your singing ability and all of that is gonna, I think, just gonna make it even better and better for you in the future. I
Thank
wouldn't,
you. I appreciate that.
yeah, I really don't think there's anything that is realistic that you couldn't hit as far as goals
Thank
for this
you.
goes. Um, if the when you look at what you're able to do as a VTuber, is there anything that any other types of streams you would like to do? Would you ever do a hand cam stream for something, or some other hobby that you have?
I do drawing streams sometimes too, where I like force myself to draw.
Hmm.
Um, but other than that, yeah, I would be interested in learning other hobbies for sure
Hmm.
through VTubing.
Yeah. The
Hmm.
art stuff, was that something that you tried along with everything else when you were younger?
Yes, but I always gave up on it and came back to it like many times, like a terrible relationship.
I never had any terrible relationships. It took me till age 43 to realize you could have a second date.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, really? You can do this again? Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And then I got married to her. So there you go. It happened that fast. Um,
That is amazing.
yeah, yeah. And she's still there after 17 years. I've fooled her this long.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Yes. I am happy for me too, as far as that goes. Um, the For you, and is meeting peers in something that has always been a little bit scary for you?
Oh yeah. I've always struggled with like really anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
especially like social anxiety from like a young age.
Mm-hmm.
So even online, like trying to become friends with people is very stressful for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. It can be it when you don't know exactly what the response is you're going to get if you make the first move,
Hmm.
and then when somebody else makes the first move, you're like, what are they after? It comes up. But one thing to remember is that there are so many other people who feel the same way you do,
Hmm.
and they're just as nervous about talking to you than as you are to them.
For sure.
Yeah, and then it can, and what, and it may not be, the best friendship in the world or anything along those lines, but you never know until you take a shot out there. My
That's
gosh,
so true. That
yeah,
is very true.
yeah,
I haven't thought about it like that.
yeah. I think I've probably contacted now over 1,000 VTubers, different
Really?
VTubers. Yeah, because we're very near 770 interviews now that we've done, but there have been a lot of rejections, or just plain, ignoring me, that type of thing, which
Hmm.
fine, that people don't have to come on. But there's if you don't make that step out there, you're never going to know.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah, and I have this feeling that you're going to find a little more confidence as you go along, um, and in stepping out there, and once you realize the effects, and you're starting now to realize the effects that you and your personality have on people, positive effects. They want to come back and hear more of you, hear more of your singing, hear more, or just hang out and yap with you. That's going to, I think, will increase your confidence both here and in the non-computer world.
Sorry, you said you think my confidence will increase?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think it will. I think it'll happen, and it may be a slow thing, but uh, heck, you just talked to an old man you didn't know for 45 minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate you again.
And it's I mean it's that's something that people have to overcome, and you've overcome some things already, very at a very young age. Heck, I couldn't have done any of that stuff you did. Um, Getting out there and learning and singing in front of people, and certainly not now. I'd be arrested. But the that's how bad it is. But the all of those things combined, plus your attitude and your spirit is going to, I think, make a big future for you with this. So
Thank you so much.
I wish you absolute the best the rest as you go here. We're going to keep an eye on you, and Do you think you're going to have one of those songs out before the year's over?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Good, because because we'll have our music special. We've had two of them now at the end of each year, and I want to have your stuff in there at the end of this year.
Oh,
So
thank you. That's so
yeah,
kind. Thank you so much.
absolutely, and thank you so much for coming on. We'll keep an eye for you on Arium and a lot more in the future from you,
Thank you.
Ange Aimee. Thank you so much for being on.
Of course, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.